Okay, this is a vocal test. Trying to figure out what's going on here for vocals. Testing 1, 2, 3. Screen's looking weird. Fuck. More light. All right, I adjusted that. I adjusted vocals, so we're right here, right now. It's still doing weird stuff. All right, here we are. That's why. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2. Let's try to do the intro here. Participants can share. So let's just try to share. Join the meeting. All right, here we go.
Tired of the sunset blues.
All right, well that's enough of that. Here we are. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. Test 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Check, check. Check 1, check 2. Is that clipping at all? Check, check, check. Check, check. Yeah, it is clipping. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2. Check. Yeah, there's no clipping now. That's better. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Test. It's a test. Mr. John McDonald.
Hey,
How's
how you
it
doing,
going?
Tim?
I'm doing well.
Good, good. I'm just trying to make sure I get all my tech set up here and get my volumes here. You hear me okay?
I can hear you great. How's your guitar?
Yeah, here, let me do this. Let me we're just playing kind of.
Oh, that sounds nice already.
So I was we're out here on the lanai, and I'm going to introduce you to Dale. So let me kind of adjust here. I'm just trying to get it. The sun's very bright here at the moment. So I'm just adjusting the screen. We wanted to get a little bit of a little bit of palm and blue sky in if possible, you know?
John, that's awesome. Let me ask you, which way is the sun going to go down?
Well, I'll tell you what, the sun is probably, let me do it. The sun's on this side. It's going to go in this direction to my left over here.
Okay. You'd be better off with the sun facing you. Otherwise,
sun facing? Okay.
Like,
all right, I'll tell you what.
Just like on stage, man.
Yeah, okay. All right, here, let me
if that's not too much. Otherwise, it might come out too dark.
Yeah, no. Here, if you bear with me, what we'll do is we'll figure something out. I might shift over and bear with me.
Yeah, but the audio is good.
So. Yeah, the audio is good, and I'm going to do. Yeah. By the way, this is I don't know if can you see Dale yet? Dale is right here.
Oh. Hi, Tim.
How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Hold on a second.
Thanks for being on.
Oh yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
We
play a little bit, Dale. Let me hear your guitar.
Well, I'll probably be about.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so let's do this. We're gonna.
Sorry, I know you're gonna have it right in your face.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what.
That's pretty bright, right?
Yeah,
it is,
well,
but it's
will work, I guess, huh?
That's if you want a nice bright video. That's what Zoom recommends.
Okay. All right. I might grab my. This sun will go down in 15 minutes. So as we're talking and chatting, listen. Ideally, here. Let me. It's funny because I was hoping. Well, listen. You actually have a beautiful background.
Listen. Do you have a light you can shine on you?
I do.
That way you could turn, not to make it again, but you could turn back around and have that beautiful background. As long as you get something bright right on you.
All right. I'll tell you what, because I can run out to the car. We have a damn tree light.
Oh, that would work perfect.
All right. I'll tell you what.
If it's not too much trouble.
All right. We're at 6:48. All right. Because this sun is it's at its peak right now, Tim.
Yep.
And
but you want that background.
I would like that background. I can deal with the sun here.
Okay.
So let's figure. And I'm even wondering. Let me. All right. Let me see what I can do about getting the light.
Yep, and no rush, man. If it doesn't work, whatever. I'm just trying to help you guys.
Yeah. No. Let's see if we can get this right. They're actually.
And if it looks too good from my end, I can shut this screen off and just go green screen. Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't want to overshadow it. So.
Yeah, no. It's here. Let me just adjust my cables here. Yeah, because ideally, we do want the sun on me and on both of us.
Yeah,
But we want a combination of the background.
exactly.
Well, we could go in the other direction. Let's take a look at this.
Sure.
The way I was originally sitting, Tim, there's a little bit more weight specifically in the way of palm.
Yep.
But we could probably do this so that
That's nice. Like
So-
that sun's filtering in.
so we're
and that's,
getting sun on us,
yeah.
and we're on we're on a little body of water here. Well, I'm not oceanside. We're about 20 minutes from the beach, but there's a little body of water here, and I just thought if we could get that. All right, so let me let's bear with me here.
And if you have any lights out there,
Yeah,
just turn them on.
yeah.
You know?
We did. I just turned one on, and I may grab another light here. So let me, for purposes of just getting situated. So you think this direction will work?
Yeah, it's good
All
now.
right. So
My
I'm
night
kind
fear
of
is
sitting
when-
here, and if Dale is playing next to me,
Yeah.
we can get a little bit of him. And he also, believe it or not, has a brand new Dobro, which he's going to put on his lap. It might be a little bit challenging.
You can always just pull your computer screen down a little to capture the
Yeah.
joke.
Okay. So even if we do something like that, we can still get a little bit of atmosphere, correct?
You can, and feel free to adjust.
Yeah. Okay.
And, just show people around. A lot of people do that. They're like,
Sure.
here I am. This is my environment.
Yeah. No, we could do that. And I'm gonna grab my guitar and bring that over here. All right. I'm getting situated. The joys of, hey, this is live entertainment,
It
It's-
is live.
Yeah. Now you're in Worcester, correct?
Yeah, right outside. I'm born and raised in Worcester. So
Well, I'm born and raised in Boston, so I'm
Nice.
in your neck of the woods, brother.
that's awesome. I was just in Boston with my son
Yeah.
a few days ago during school vacay week. He's kind of like an aspiring rap artist.
Yes. Okay.
And he's 13. He writes his own tunes. And so we did a whole video in downtown Boston.
Very cool.
They loved it.
Yeah,
In front of the
It's funny.
State House and TD Garden and
There you go.
up in the
Yeah.
North End and all that.
Yeah. Well, when I saw that you on your Facebook profile, when I saw that you were in Worcester, it reminded me, man. Like again, I lived in Pennsylvania for a long time before I moved here. I went to school in Boston, went to grad school in Pittsburgh, so I was in Pennsylvania for many years.
Sure.
But man, I saw some of the best concerts I've ever seen in my life were at the Worcester Centrum.
Nice. That's a
Yeah.
good question. I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah, no. I know I sent you a lot of stuff, man. Here, let me grab. All right.
That
Let me
sounds
see.
beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, that's so we have a Hawaiian style song. I know I sent you a bunch of songs, but we have a Hawaiian style song on the CD, and maybe we'll do that for you. I'm just
I'd love you
yeah.
to do one or two if you can.
absolutely, yeah. I'm just checking right now. Sunset for us technically tonight is 7:55. So I think I'm going to grab, I have a couple lights on. There's a light over here to my right. I think we're going to be pretty good for the most part.
All right.
Um,
I have one test from your end. I'm going to try sharing the intro to this show.
Okay.
My only question to you is, are you seeing it and hearing it on your end? So here
Okay.
goes. It's just a quick, 20-second intro. So I switch the screen, stop broadcast. a yay or nay?
Yeah, I can. We can hear that really well.
All right, and then I stop the share, and I should be right back, right?
Yeah, you're right here. I'm just looking to see if I can expand the size of the screen here. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. You and then Dale, you can come over. You can shift over, man.
Yeah, whatever.
So Dale has a nylon string and he's got the dobro. So we'll so we're just gonna wrap at questions and then we'll do a couple songs live and okay.
Yep, exactly. Like I usually halfway through the show we do a live performance.
Yeah. Okay.
Type thing. You can hear me okay, right?
I can hear you fine. Actually, I would actually like to elevate the volume a little bit. I just put it up. Talk again, Tim, if you will.
Test one, check. One,
yeah,
check.
I just turned up, so
okay, good.
I think we're good.
Because I take this and I run it into Logic, and that's how I do it for Sure Life.
Sure.
You know,
all right.
I edit it up.
I'm wondering. I'm gonna experiment. Well, yeah. Are you, Dale? You gonna sit on that?
Yeah.
Let me, I'll tell you, let me, could I borrow, I'm looking for a chair that doesn't have any arms, so I'm not, I'll grab one of these. Hold on, Tim, I'm re-jigamarooing here. I'm bringing a chair outside that has no arms. It'll be a little bit more comfortable with the guitar.
Nice. Awesome.
All right, so. All right. And I do have my computer plugged in, so
Me too. I got a Ethernet line, so we should be good.
All right, so sit over here for a second, Dale. I just want to see if that, if we do do a couple tunes live, that we can kind of fit in. So. Yeah, okay, good. Dale's there, and how's that look, Tim?
Yeah, it looks good. Are you playing as well, I assume?
Here, let me, I can grab my guitars.
I'd just like
here.
to see you with the guitar.
Yeah, let me, all right, let's see.
If you guys play together for a sec, go ahead.
All right. Let's do. Here, let's Roman reggae. Tonight we're gonna solve the whole world's problems. We'll travel in a tropical state of mind. It's getting time to get back to simplicity. Back to you and me, we may let go behind.
All right. Sounds great. My only advice is just sing a little bit louder. And
sing a little bit louder? Okay.
Just a half a level, half a
You got it. You got it, man.
And
Maybe,
it'll sound great.
All right, cool. We could do that. And all right, excellent. So I'm kind of, and then we can get some of Dale in when he's playing and I'm here. So, all right, good. We got a little bit of blue sky.
Yeah, you're good.
So I try to, in this, keep it light and
yeah,
project humor whenever possible, but I try not to force it. Just
Well, I should probably, I'll tell you what, it's 6:58. The did you mix yourself a gin and tonic?
Yeah.
Can you mix me a quick gin and tonic? In
go.
that case, I'm well lubricated and I'll lighten up.
And I got to do something on the computer right now to make it live, so I'm going to go do that. And
You got it, brother.
we won't go live until you say ready.
Okay. Those are my warm-ups, brother. Love your background there. It's great.
So I'm basically going to go live.
Okay.
Takes anywhere from 20 to 40 seconds.
Okay.
And then right when I do that, so just stay quiet during that. I'm going to play the intro, cut it, and then we're right in.
Okay.
So we're going to go live now.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Live from your end, John.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good to go, Tim. I'm right here. I'll
Well, hello, everyone. This is Tiki Tim. Trop-Roc Trivia. It's another exciting episode we got going here today in my island paradise. This is for new viewers. This is season 2, episode 4 or 5 or something like that. We're doing well, keeping this going every single week. I can tell you this, that Millie at Shore Life Radio has picked up this show. And, of course, if you missed it tonight or want to hear it again as an audio podcast, it plays Sunday nights, 8 p.m. on Shore Life Radio, and actually, again, Wednesday at 3 p.m. So without further, what's the word I'm looking for? Without further, it's gone.
I do.
Thank you, John. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our guest tonight, very special guest, Mr. John McDonald. How are you, John?
Hey, Tim, how you doing, man?
I'm good. You know, I got to tell you, straight out the box, this whole drum kit, I'm not trying to promote it, is made by Noble and Cooley right here in Massachusetts, Greenville, Massachusetts, handmade, custom-made kit, right? And one of the oldest drum manufacturers in the United States. They were making the field drums, snare drums for the Union Army way back when.
Wow.
However, I went out there today. I needed a new snare, and they made this for me.
Wow. It looks gorgeous, man.
Ah, man, it's a great drum. And so thanks to Nick at Noble and Cooley for making my day. When I invited you on the show, I didn't know a lot about you, and I apologize for that, but I sure learned a lot because there's a lot out there about you. And so I hope you're ready for a lot of questions.
Hey, man, I'm good to go. And by the way, I have been through Greenville, Massachusetts. I
Really?
only know that drum company in name only, but, we were kind of, geographically speaking, we were kind of neighbors for a while. You're in Worcester.
Yep.
And as I was telling you, man, I've been to Worcester many a time and saw some great concerts at the Worcester Center. And by the way, I don't know about you. So since being in Florida, I have been called an asshole quite a few times.
Wow. Well, I don't even know where that term asshole came from.
It
I
came
really
from all the
don't.
people that moved to New Hampshire from Massachusetts.
All right, fair enough. Well, obviously you have a lot of strong connections to Boston. We were talking off air. My son and I just did a video in Boston, but I am a Worcester guy, the city of Seven Hills.
Yes.
And actually, it's now the new home of the Providence Red Sox. They've moved their whole stadium to Worcester, which opens next week as the Woo Sox, as the AAA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox. So,
Cool. Wow.
yeah.
All right.
I was just in Worcester today, and I saw the stadium with my son. He was getting his driver's license permit. I was like, "That's unbelievable! It's a huge stadium." So there's a lot going on in Massachusetts, but there's a lot going on for you down in Florida. So one of my first questions is, you moved from the Mid-Atlantic down to the South Atlantic, as you say in some of your materials. Where in the Mid-Atlantic are you from?
Well, that would be after I went to school in Boston, went to college in Boston. I moved to Pittsburgh. So Mid-Atlantic would be Pittsburgh. That's where we were based for many years. I went there to go to school. The tentative plan was that perhaps I would go back to Boston, maybe follow in my older brother's footsteps, go to law school perhaps. But I had a passion for music, so I went to Duquesne University in Pittsburgh for several years in a graduate school. And I ended up staying in Pittsburgh. So that's where I was based.
Nice. Pittsburgh's a beautiful place to grow up.
It's amazingly beautiful. People don't realize it. It has dramatically changed. It's the entire Rust Belt has changed. But Pittsburgh is it's a beautiful city. There's 3 rivers. It's very mountainous. And a lot of people are very surprised to go there in the last couple decades.
All right. So before we move on, I got to ask you, Steelers or Patriots?
That's a tough one because I became I bled black and gold many a time. When you live in Pittsburgh, man, if you are not a Steeler fan, because they are fanatically crazy. But having said that, I would root for the Patriots on a lot of occasions, and I'll be frank, I am still a big Tom Brady fan.
Okay.
Amazing.
Well, we all are, even though he's now down there with you or close to you in Tampa Bay. But when you went to, as you call it, the Space Coast, right?
The Space Coast of Florida, yeah.
And, whereabouts are you down there?
Well, so the Space Coast is essentially co-synonymous with Brevard County. Okay. We are about 45 minutes south of Canaveral, about 30 minutes south of Cocoa. So aerospace is the big industry in this section of Florida for obvious reasons. And man, it is booming right now.
Why? Why is it booming right now?
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'll
tell you. Well, here's what's going on. The private, between government and private sector, there's all kinds of new investments. SpaceX, Elon Musk is a major investor now. There are a whole series of companies here, like L3Harris, for example, who all service aerospace. There's essentially 2 large Air Force bases here, Patrick and Canaveral. And so there is a huge pool of tech talent. I'll give you just one short example. There's a company moving into Melbourne, Florida. And there is an international airport here. It's modest. It's a big space. But there's a company from Arion moving in from Reno, Nevada. And they specialize in supersonic transport for the corporate community. And they're going to build this massive R&D facility here. FIT, the Florida Institute of Technology, is 3 miles from where I sit. And they're very symbiotic with all these aerospace companies, and they're pumping out people in various specialties of engineering. And so it's booming in that sense, Tim, and a lot of launches.
All right. So my follow-up to that is, so you moved from Pittsburgh to the Space Coast.
Yes.
Was it a strategic decision to move?
I guess it was because we had a great run. I started John McDonald and the Mango Men at about 1995. And I love Pittsburgh. I had a wonderful life there. We had a great run, a great band. And it was a great place to live. But, frankly, I'll tell you what, among other things, I was tired of winter. And I had started visiting this section of Florida because Kevin, our drummer, who was with us for a long time, his beautiful wife and my friend Kathleen. She's a career specialist in the Air Force. She was stationed here. So I started visiting this section of Florida in the mid 2000s. I kind of liked it. But finally, I guess it was at the beginning of 2017, I needed to somehow rejuvenate, move on, get a fresh start. So I guess it was somewhat strategic. I've been playing Trop-Roc and I love Trop-Roc, but I was very geographic, not terribly well known here, or frankly, and other, beyond my little geography. So it was partly for personal reasons. I guess it was strategic.
Well, another follow to that then, when you made the move 2017, right around there, and we're jumping ahead on questions, but did that change you? Did it change your approach to music, songwriting?
I think I actually think it did, Tim, in the sense, for many years, hey, listen, I started playing Trop-Roc, just simply, well, two reasons. I was playing solo and I started to get a lot of people, can you play some Jimmy Buffett stuff? So that kind of, and he was the guy, oh, he's the guy that does Margaritaville. Okay. And then I get into Buffett and I really enjoyed it. And the other thing was, frankly, just winter. I've been, notwithstanding the fact that I'm from New England like you, I have been bitching and complaining about winter since I was in college, since I was in my 20s. And to answer your question, although, playing Trop-Roc, writing it, performing it, helped me get through many winters long distance, I actually think living down here for a few years, with a closer proximity to the Caribbean, going to the Caribbean a little bit, going to the Bahamas, it actually makes it more authentic for me in a sense, if that makes sense.
No, it does. And so let's stay on that for a sec. I mean, the Mango Man, I think you said 95?
Yeah, about 1995, believe it or not. I'm going to introduce everybody to Dale. Dale's here with me. He was one of the original Mango Man, as was Kevin. So long time ago, man. Hard to believe.
We're going to get to know Dale in a minute, but back to Kevin Kornicki.
Kornicki, yes, indeed.
I always, as a fellow drummer, I always try to ask my guests about their drummers or drummers they record and play with. Tell me a little bit about Kevin and his approach to the Skins.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kevin is originally from Philadelphia, but he's toured internationally with a performance art group for many years. So, I kiddingly, the thing about Kevin that's amazing is he's a musician's musician. He loves artists and music that are so obscure. I mean, he's very well versed in the classic rock tradition. He likes Yes, all those older groups. But the thing about Kevin, he loves to play kit, but he's also a phenomenal percussionist. And he digs the whole Afro-Caribbean tradition. And by the way, and I will say that both myself and Kevin, let me go back for a second and digress. One of the guys who was in my band in Pittsburgh was a guy named Dr. Kwasi J. Orba. He was an older man, and Kwasi was an ethnomusicologist. Didn't know what it was at the time. Now I know what it is. But I recruited him to join the Mango Men because Kwasi was a world-class percussionist, and he's since passed, but he gave us kind of an education in the whole Afro-Cuban music tradition and how music migrated through New Orleans. And we were like frat boys, and this is a guy with a PhD, and he was a sweetheart of a guy. But I know Kevin, myself, Dale, and all the guys, although we were like party boys playing classic rock, Jimmy Buffett songs and this and that, this guy, Kwasi, our dear friend, he kind of gave us an education in music that I didn't anticipate. And in retrospect, I think Kevin and his drumming was influenced by watching Kwasi and playing with Kwasi. He was a world-class percussionist. He lived in Frisco. He played with all kinds of famous people, Santana, among others. And so at any rate, I think we got quite an education, and I think it has affected Kevin's style and his approach to percussion specifically.
I can imagine. I mean, Dr. Kwasi de Oba, I don't know him, but I can tell you, just as a drummer, playing Afro-Cuban rhythms are among most of the difficult rhythms you can play on the drum kit for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, tell me, man. Tell me.
I'm not going to get into it here.
Uh,
very challenging, both drum set and on whatever percussion rig you're playing. So
yes, yes.
well, we'll talk with Dale in a minute, but listen, you've played with the big leagues. You've backed the Beach Boys, Hall & Oates, Smokey Robinson, Travis Tritt, Don McLean, among many others. Give me some stories from some of those.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Take us backstage.
Well, I'll tell you what. Here's the story. When we were in Pittsburgh, I put out my initial CD, and I was dealing. The concert promoter in Pittsburgh at the time was a company called the Caesar Engler. Remember Don Law in Boston? He was their buddy, and eventually all these promoters were bought out in the 2000s. Blah blah blah. But we put out a CD. And, I had always kind of integrated original music. But what happened was we were the only band in Pittsburgh of our age bracket that played music that was palatable to a wide audience. There were a lot of grunge bands, alternative bands, college bands. So every time they needed a band, to warm up for various groups, we often got the call and we would play in Pittsburgh and bounce around. But I can tell you, out of the various groups we warmed up and opened up for, some of them were famous, as you mentioned, some of them weren't. But one of the nicest guys I ever met was Mike Love from the Beach Boys.
Really?
Yeah, because often what will happen is if you're a regional band and you're opening up for nationally touring bands, they may be very respectful, but, they're not really spending time with you. They'll acknowledge, hey, thank you for opening up. But, and the other thing also, as well as a lot of these people, even some of the ones you mentioned, they tend to be very private people. One time in Eastern PA, I almost get kicked out because I approached Stephen Stills. I wanted to chat with him. And, but I can tell you a short snippet. The time we opened up for Smokey Robinson, there was a concert venue in Pittsburgh called the Icy Light Amphitheater. Icy Light is Iron City Light beer, okay? So this was a concert facility across from downtown Pittsburgh on one of the major rivers. And so they called me and said, hey, listen, Smokey Robinson is playing and would like you to warm up. I said, oh, cool. Love Smokey Robinson. So at any rate, okay, great. So we go that night to the show, and it's myself, Kevin, and the keyboard player. We were only allowed to do it as a trio. So this is one of these experiences that I'll never forget. So we were sitting down. They said, let's have dinner. We sat down, and Smokey's band was there, and a lot of the guys in his band were apparently traditional and old school Motown musicians who had been with some of the Motown acts for many years. So it was a lot of fun chatting with those guys. And Al Cleveland was there. Al was one of the famous people on the songwriting team who wrote with Smokey and Marvin Gaye. So we chatted with these people, and it was really fascinating. I enjoyed that. So they said, okay, hey, man, it's time to go on. And so at any rate, everything was set up. Our stuff was out in front because Smokey had a 6-piece band. He had a local 5-string he had a 5-string, violin section. But I had an experience that I'll never forget. So I'm thinking, okay, this is great. So I walked out on stage, and I didn't really look up, frankly. I figured, well, this venue holds, generally, it's a very large open air venue. It holds a couple thousand people. So I literally walk out into the stage. I pick up my guitar. A local radio station DJ is about to introduce us. And I turn around. And I did this. I turned around. There were like 10,000 people there. And at that point, I had never seen that many people kind of in front of me before. And I'm going to tell you, it took me the better part of a minute. It felt like a lifetime, but I was like, it took me a minute to regain my composure because I was just completely surprised and overwhelmed.
I can imagine.
It was just one of those moments I'll never forget because I was like I was just stunned for a second.
Amazing stories from your gigs. You should write a book.
I've been encouraged to do that,
What are you drinking there, by the way?
Well, I'm drinking a gin and tonic because as far as I know, it is 5 o'clock somewhere. And We're starting at 7 o'clock, so I'm behind the time Eastern Standard, right?
That's right. And thank you for being with us so late. Listen, let's move on to some more questions before you and Dale get a chance to play together, which we're all looking forward to.
Cool.
What is it like to manage an 8-piece band? What are the five top challenges of managing an 8-piece band?
Well, wow. Well, I'll tell you what, the first challenge right off the bat, Tim, is the fact that, and I think this has been a decade now since the previous great recession, financial crash. First of all, it's very hard to book a large band anymore because the budgets aren't there like they used to be, So my situation on Saturday for my CD release, I wanted to book a full band because I really wanted to reproduce the sound of the CD. So frankly, that's the first challenge. The second challenge is that I have the nucleus of guys who play with me on a regular basis. We still do a lot of solo, duo, trio gigs down here. And even during the pandemic, venues that would book a larger band have been very restrictive for quite a while. So frankly, the real challenge, the primary challenge, and I know you had 5, right, is we're doing multiple practices, but it's hard to get 8 people together at one time. Our good buddy John Beck from Orlando is playing steel drum. He's kind of on his own. We've chatted. He has the set list. He's learning his thing. We have a great saxophone player from Long Island, New York. He's kind of doing his thing independently. So coordinating everybody so we can kind of be on the same page without a musical traffic jam would be the big other issue. And I don't know. Well, I think they overshadow the other few, All
right. Well, that was a long number 1.
Okay.
So when you give me the other 4, you're limited to one sentence for each.
Okay. One sentence. Okay. Feeding everybody, getting everybody there on time. Doing a really good sound check before the place is crowded, and then I would say to the financials and the rehearsal. So 5 different aspects.
Okay, let's get you guys on some guitars.
Okay, good.
I'm going to push a couple of my questions about songwriting to afterwards. And
yeah, cool, man. All right, let me get my guitar and let me get Dale. He may be mixing another gin and tonic. Oh, here you are. So. Can we do, like I said, we have the new record. Sunday's the big CD release thing. Can we do a couple of new tunes for you?
We'd love to hear tunes, absolutely.
All right. This, let's do this.
What's the first one you got up?
All right, well, I'll tell you what do you think?
Hi, Dale, by the way. How you doing?
Hey, everybody, this is Dale. I call him Mango Man Dale. He was one of the original, and Dale is from Pittsburgh,
All right, so you're another Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Well, he's kind of he's not a sports guy. No, he's strictly all about the art and the music, right, Tim.
Listen, I love Ben Roethlisberger. I do. All right, so what is this first one? Tell us about it.
We're gonna do a little rum and reggae. It's off of my new record. I was a little bit late to the game. I've always liked rum and I've always liked reggae, but somehow I kind of put them together. Tonight we're gonna solve the whole world's problems. We'll solve them in a traffic state of mind. It's getting time to get back to simplicity. Back to you and me, leave the mainland world behind. Future's far away. Let's live just for today. Rum and reggae, I'm sympathetical. Rum and reggae, liberate our soul. Rum and reggae will intoxicate. We could dance away all our pain and sorrow. Rum and reggae, yeah, yeah, yeah. Rum and reggae, yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, rum and reggae. Rum all sympathical, rum and reggae, liberate our soul, rum and reggae, will intoxicate, we could dance away all our pain and sorrow, rum and reggae, yeah, 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 rum and reggae, my time liberates, the baseline reverberates, the message resonates, the Rasta man incantates, the tambale communicates, lift me up to levitate, our heartbeat motivates, love and peace illuminates, rum and reggae, woo, I'm sympathetical, rum and reggae, liberate our soul, rum and reggae, will intoxicate, we could dance away all our pain and sorrow, rum and reggae, yeah, 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 we go, rum and reggae, yeah, yeah, yeah. Woo!
Yeah.
That was awesome. You know, I wish Zoom didn't have latency issues, though. They're working on that. I could play along with you guys. I so want to.
Yeah, I was thinking, man, you get a drum kit there. That would be really cool if we could do that. You know,
It's not physically or it's not scientifically possible right now to do.
Yeah.
It
right?
just isn't.
Hey, a year ago, frankly, I wasn't familiar with Zoom or hadn't even utilized it too much till this pandemic. You know,
Me either. So we're learning as we go. What's your second tune? What do you got?
all right. Well, I'll tell you what. Dale has a new instrument here.
man.
See if you can hold it up and show everybody. This is well, describe this guitar, Dale.
Dobro.
A dobro.
Like a lap steel.
So
Hold on, Dale. What is a collapse? Did you say that's a collapse steel?
No, a lap steel.
Lap steel. All
Yeah.
right.
he's gonna.
Sit and play it on my lap.
Yeah,
like
he's can't.
flat, like
we
this.
can. I'm going to adjust the screen a little bit.
Yeah.
Dale's sitting a little. It's going to be hard to completely see it.
Yeah.
Dale, do you always play it in your lap, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to. Just the way it's designed. It's all slide. You can't fret it. So yeah, it's just the way it's designed.
Man, the action is
Beautiful.
high on that sucker too.
Yeah,
man.
that's why for the slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they call and it's called a dobro, I believe, right? So
Mhm.
since he has this, we have a song on the new record, Tim, called "Ukulele Luau Dreams." And I will. You may relate to this. If you do, you want me to talk a little bit about this song, or
I mean, I feel like people want to know a little bit about
Sure.
just
Well-
the background. Yeah.
Well, let me give 30 seconds. This song, the one thing that I remember that I knew about tropical life, palm trees, growing up in Boston, Massachusetts, not far from you, was watching, and I don't know if I was 6, 7, 8, watching Elvis Presley in Blue Hawaii. That was the only thing I knew about anything remotely tropical. And even at that age, I said, wow, it's really bright. It's a lot of fun. He plays the guitar and he gets girls. So at any rate, for some reason, I was looking back in retrospect, and it's called Ukulele Luau Dreams. It's a simple escapism, but the bottom line is that was the thought that got the song going.
Sure. And I mean, Dale, you're a good-looking guy, so I mean, you naturally just were acclimated to this song.
Well, you see what happens is, they used to say the drummers and the front guys got all the girls, but I'm going to leave it at that.
It's the Dobros.
Yeah, it's the
All right, so we're going to hear Dale play a little bit of that, and let's see what it sounds like. Oh, yeah, okay. I dream about Hawaii almost every night. I close my eyes and I can see the palm trees sway. And there's a pretty Wahine in a hula skirt, dancing my cares away. I can almost hear the song of laughter while the ukulele plays. Do you wanna go? Do you wanna go to a turquoise sea and a bikini beach, together where the warm winds blow? Don't you wanna be? So I will leave. We'll drink and dance and find romance in my ukulele, live our dreams. Life's too short for working, and the winter chill is getting low. So got me dreaming of a fire in the sand in Waikiki. There's a tropical feast at sunset, a coconut filled with rum. A blender and a straw never worked so hard to drink me into having fun. Do you wanna go? Do you wanna go to a turquoise sea and a bikini beach, together where the warm winds blow? Don't you wanna be? Don't you wanna be? So I'll go leave. So happy. Woo! We'll drink and dance and find romance in my ukulele, live our dreams. Forget the frost, I'm forever lost in my ukulele, live our dreams. Do you wanna go? Do you wanna go to a turquoise sea and a bikini beach, together where the warm winds blow? Don't you wanna be? So I'll leave. So happy. We'll drink and dance and find romance in the ukulele, live our dreams. We're never too old to be so bold to live the ukulele, live our dreams. Oh, forget the frost, we're forever lost in the ukulele, live our dreams.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
That damn thing sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That dang,
From Hawaii,
dang,
right?
Dale.
Thanks, brother.
Now I know
Thank
why all the girls, you know. I know. That's awesome.
To all the girls. You're gonna get me in trouble. You're gonna get
Say,
me.
so don't let Dale go yet.
Oh, I'm here.
Well, it's 7:30. If you guys want, we can continue with questions, or maybe one more tune because that was so good.
All right, well, let's do another song. You know, we can now. Hey, by the way, I'm not going to spill the beans and tell everybody exactly what we're doing, but along with my new songs, my CD's called Islandology. We are taking some classic, to me, iconic songs: Led Zeppelin, Ozzy Osbourne, Peter Gabriel, James Taylor, Buffalo Springfield, and we're going to tropify them specifically for the CD release concert. And I think we actually have recordings of these. They're not finished, but I think what we're going to do is after the CD release, we're going to finish these and put out a CD of some really cool classic rock stuff done with definitely a trop rock islandy feel.
I'm gonna stop you there. I mean, that's an amazing idea. If someone's gonna steal it, so just
That's okay. Hey, you know what?
No.
that's cool. You're cool with it.
No, we're cool.
I
We're
know
cool,
you
brother.
guys. You guys are cool cats.
Well, we're
Yeah.
trying. All right, so let's. I'm inclined to do something. I'll tell you, we have since we're in Florida, one of the songs on the CD is kind of my tribute to Key West. You know, as you know, everybody. One of the great things about Key West is the great sunset. As you're watching the sunset, you know, heading west on the Gulf, and so it's one of these. I call it. It's a little bit more reflective, if you will, than some of the other songs in the CD, which are primarily fun and upbeat. So, what do you think about Countdown to Sundown, Dale? We'll do A minor here. So, this is called Countdown to Sundown, and a couple summers ago, Donna and I went down to Key West. I had never been in the summer, and I'm saying, "Oh my God, this is going to be awful." But you know what? It was wonderful. It was no worse than this section of Florida, and frankly, no worse than the Northeast with heat and humidity. So,
Wait a minute. Who is Donna?
oh, Donna is the love of my life. She's she'll probably be here very soon. She's actually on grandmother duty. She has a couple new little ones in the family. So, but we went down, and Donna and I. So this is so I think we'll do Countdown to Sundown for you. Is that cool?
Nice. Sounds
If
great.
you don't mind, I'm going to quickly sip here. Do you need to lubricate or? Okay, I'm okay.
So, Dale, is that a 12-string classical guitar? Or
No, just 6.
6. All right.
That would be cool to have a 12.
No, it's cool. You have an interesting posture coming up. Why do you play with, the neck?
I don't know.
Almost at a 45.
Yeah, that's
more
a
than
good question.
45.
I don't know.
You
I
like
He's
it?
a little- He's a little bit low, by the way, Tim. He's on kind of a low chair.
So he's not short. He's just low.
No, Dale is not short by any means.
Yeah, I'm on a really low bench.
Sorry, Dale.
No, man. It's all
But
good.
this is like a nylon string guitar, and the guys that play this, it's like a totally different animal, you know.
Totally.
But all right, so this is called Countdown to Sundown, Tim. There's a nightly sunset invitation on an island in the Gulf of Mexico. This intoxicating Key West celebration. Every sundown, it's a countdown. Countdown to sundown, it's good to be alive. Countdown to sundown, it's a party every night. Countdown to sundown, she'll leave you with a smile as we count down. Countdown to sundown. Countdown to sundown. Countdown to sundown. Hey, the purple clouds are getting crazy with an ocean of humanity as joyous as the sun. The steel down from the beggars got us swaying. The sun gets lower, the crowd gets louder. Woo. Countdown to sundown, it's good to be alive. Countdown to sundown, it's a party every night. Countdown to sundown, she'll leave you with a smile as we count down. Countdown to sundown. Countdown to sundown. Countdown to sundown. On this fire juggling acrobat with a fortune teller with a feather hat, Over there's a monkey with a clown. A gypsy plays hillbilly songs on his banjo while his dog gathers tips thrown out from the crowd. Kitty's on a tightrope walking. A tumbling act has people gawking. There's a pirate swallowing a sword. Island ballads on mandolin, a mango ice with a shot of gin. Island sunset music's all aboard. Woo! Countdown to sundown, it's good to be alive. Countdown to sundown, it's a party every night. Countdown to sundown, she'll leave you with a smile as we count down, countdown to sundown. Countdown to sundown, it's good to be alive. Countdown to sundown, it's a party every night. Countdown to sundown, she'll leave you with a smile as we count down, countdown to sundown. Woo. Countdown to sundown. Countdown to sundown. Countdown to sundown. Countdown to sundown.
Woo! Right at sundown.
Nice.
Right at sundown. Look at it.
What a honor it is to hear these tunes.
Oh,
Thank you, brother. Thanks for
Oh,
having us.
man, oh man.
yeah.
So just as a reminder to all our viewers here, this is Tiki Tim's Trop-Roc Tributes. This is a weekly podcast turned video audio podcast show that is on pretty much every Wednesday at 7 p.m. unless schedules interfere, and then we make it another night. I got to tell you, we got a good list of upcomings. Donnie Brewer, among them, also a really special guest that I can't reveal, but I just found out about it today. And oh man, wait till, anyway, there's a lot of good news coming for this show, but it appears on Shore Life Radio on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. and again Wednesday at 3 p.m. So if you're not checking it out here, check out the audio because it comes out pretty good and you should enjoy it. Let's move on with our interview, John, and thank you, Dale. That was brilliant guitar work you just did right there.
Yeah.
Awesome
He's a
job.
Yeah.
I'd like to maybe talk a little bit more about the new release, the CD
Sure.
release party
You
on
bet it.
Saturday. You just played a couple tunes off that new CD.
Yes, we did.
Which is really, really charitable of you to do before the CD release. You know, when you fuse Afro-Cuban, Brazilian beats, let's say reggae together, calypso together, in the song-making process for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's your mind at? Like, are you thinking calypso on this song? Are you thinking everything on this song, and it kind of just works itself out?
Probably more the latter. I mean, you know, when I'm kind of writing the tune, I mean, I know if it's going to have some kind of groove. I tend to just gravitate towards certain like calypso and islandy stuff that I really love. You know, it's part of the whole Jimmy Buffett tradition and pop music. And usually what happens, like the process on this CD and all these songs, Tim, was that I would write the songs and usually I would have an idea of a groove, but I'd take them to the studio and would set a click track, and it was very organic and intuitive. We've been playing together for so long. So I just kind of do this song for Kevin and for Dale, and they would just kind of, and Kevin's the one who really kind of navigates, massages, and kind of tweaks the groove, if you will, on the way it comes out on the record. So you know, like when I do it acoustically, it might have boom, 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 boom. So it might modify a little bit and it might change as we're recording it.
Isn't it interesting? I'm a little bit of a songwriter, nowhere near your level, but I write tunes, and it's so interesting when you start at the genesis of a song, and then you reach its conclusion weeks, months later, whenever you think it's finished, and you got all the different parts on there now, that the original idea can be drastically different from the end product.
Yes, it can. I actually first appreciated that quite a few years ago. I don't even know what it was, maybe it was 10, I don't know if it was 15 years ago. Apple released some like early basic demo stuff of Lennon and McCartney. And what hit me was that, so these were raw piano acoustic demos. They would take this stuff to George Martin. And as a Beatle lover, if you heard these initial, let's call them a rough draft, a work tape, for lack of a better term, and to get from that point to the final product, first of all, among other things, you realize what a genius George Martin is. So, but yes, I think that's true. And, it's funny, frankly, the easy part about this particular batch of songs over the last year and a half to 2 years is, as it turns out, the writing of the songs was relatively easy. The recording and working long distance a little bit. And my good friend and collaborator, he's up in Nashville. We were going long distance, so it kind of delayed the recording process. And then we were working with a wonderful audio engineer who agreed to do the project, and we were subject to his time frame. So actually writing the songs was actually a real joy for me, and trying to chisel the product. And by the way, frankly, Rick, the fellow I just alluded to, Rick was a great songwriter and had a great run on nationally. He said, John, any music project, and this might be true for a film, it might be true for a novel, you get 95% of the thing done, but the last few tweaks and the hard work you do the hard work is really the last 5, 6, 7%. That makes the difference between something that might be decent and something really good. So, and he made us re-record a bunch of stuff. I don't mind saying that. It's kind of embarrassing if you realize how many times he made me re-sing stuff, but
So
yeah,
you don't get frustrated when your song starts to evolve and it's not what you initially thought it would be. After that evolvement, it's become this whole other organic thing.
Yeah, I don't have too much frustration about that. Usually, for the most part, I kind of love the process of taking the raw song, putting the drums in, and it really, that's the joy of being in the studio, where you can really be creative and put stuff on, and and even myself, I can tell you with Dale and Kevin, my primary musical collaborators and long-term bandmates, as I said, we're probably inclined to put way too much stuff in there, frankly.
Too much
And
stuff.
Kevin, there are some of these songs, I'm not kidding, there's 20 and 25 tracks of percussion.
Okay.
So to answer your question, I love that process. I look forward to that, getting into the studio and seeing the song. And it's hard to anticipate how they're really going to come out. And you're right, there's sometimes a difference, a gap between what I imagine and how they.
Right. That's my point. Is major songwriters like yourself, what is their original vision and where does it end up? And is that the joy, in that original idea isn't going to be the end idea? It's the journey along the way.
Yeah. Well, listen, I have never considered myself a great musician. I'm just straightforward. I set a strum. I mean, these guys can really play. So you have to let go a little bit. Most writers, they go, oh my God, this is my baby. I wrote this. But I think if you're really going to create a really good recording, first of all, you've got to, with the people you're working with, you have to allow them to really do what they do well. And, and believe me, we, between Kevin, Dale, and myself, and Rick, our fourth part of the producer, everybody had pretty strong opinions. And not that we butted heads, but, there was tension at times because, I've got to take what these guys say seriously. I've been working with them a long time. And Kevin's an audio engineer and a producer in his own right. So, you want to work with people and you've got to allow them, to have influence and input. Paul Simon, apparently, I have read, who's a perfectionist, and who's a brilliant songwriter, as you know, but he can be very difficult to work with because he's never satisfied and he wants to apparently over control and micromanage everything. But hey, listen,
Well,
on that level,
I
man.
haven't heard that, but I do know he is one of the best tour drummers and often studio drummer in Steve Gadd.
Oh my God.
Listen, let's talk a little bit more about your CD release,
Okay.
Islandology, and realizing part of this interview is being listened to live, and so you get an opportunity here to preview what's going on this weekend. And then, of course, the Shore Life Radio is happening, unfortunately, after the fact. So maybe you can tell us about the event and then tell us what your expectations and general
sure.
excitement is.
Yeah. Well, by the way, just so you know, our good mutual friend Millie hooked me up with you, and Millie will be here on Sunday at the CD
Awesome.
release, and I think she's going to do a little bit of broadcasting. So if the Shore Life waiters and people online, they might be able to tap on. And I know our interview is going to be rebroadcast that evening, but I'm doing the CD release at the beach. So it's kind of, there's a lot of venues we play down here, various bars and clubs that I love to play at, but I wanted to create like a special event. There's a tented pavilion behind the Crown Plaza in Melbourne. It's on A1A, it's beachside. So as people are watching us play, we're going to be about 50 yards from the ocean, and the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, will literally be our backdrop behind us. So I just think it goes with the vibe of the record. It goes where my state of mind is at. And I think, and believe me, some of these musicians, I'm going to have a phenomenal band. It's going to be a lot of fun for me in that sense. And as we were discussing, I have an 8-piece band. Joe Downing, great songwriter from Jacksonville. He's been down here a couple of years, did the Nashville thing. He's a great Trop-Roc songwriter. He's going to play an opening set and do his stuff, and he's got some great stuff. He's actually going to be part of the band because he's an old drummer. We're hooking him up with a bongo rig. So we're going to have at least an occasionally 5-piece rhythm section, and to replicate the sound and all the percussion on the record. So the ticket sales have actually been quite good. And, frankly, I was taking a little bit of a calculated risk because 4 months ago, I was working on the assumption that more people would be vaccinated, would be in a better place. We're moving forward. And thank God we're starting to see friends that we haven't seen for a while because they're vaccinated. So I don't know how many people we're going to have, but I'm looking forward to just a great show. Millie will be there, and she's going to capture some of it. I'm going to have it videotaped as well. And we have just phenomenal musicians. And
what time does it all get going? And
it kicks off at 1. It kicks off at 1 o'clock. Our time frame is 1 to 5 p.m. at the Crown Plaza, Tim, and it's out back. Like I said, it's on the beach, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to try to kick some ass if we can, musically speaking.
Sounds it. Listen, I was doing a little research, and I like to always give props to local newspapers. I'm a former newspaper reporter and all that, but the hometown.newsbravade.com did a really nice article on you recently that I was reading. And what really struck me in reading the article, I'll read a little bit of it here. I don't think they'll mind. It says on the upcoming record, Islandology, McDonald takes a creative cue from a unique source. Innovative chefs of the Floridian culinary tradition who freely mix and match cuisines from all over the Caribbean, including Afro-Cuban, Jamaican, Central, and South American influences. And so basically, what I found incredible is that you're trying to mesh music with the same styles of culinary in those cultures. Is that not true?
Yeah. Well, I started using, the term Floridian has been around for a little while. It supposedly started around the 80s as Miami was booming. And again, the only thing I knew about Miami was Miami Vice, right? But so this culinary, this kind of new culinary tradition emerged in South Florida. And I remember being with my mom and my brother, and I'm talking 20 years ago, we were in Miami. We went to see, in fact, my older brother who's a Boston College grad. We went to see BC play Miami, and we ended up at a restaurant. And at the time, I just, it was very unique food. So I guess I had started using the term Floridian because I love the way it captures Florida and the Caribbean. So, but the essence of Floridian cooking, as I understand it, is that these people just creatively borrow, spices, rubs, dishes from all over the Caribbean. And I kind of like that idea. And I think, frankly, I think that's what Jimmy Buffett has been doing for 35 years.
Okay. I mean, so do you like to cook? Are you a cook?
I'll
Are you
tell
a
you
chef?
what, no, I can grill a bit. I am not an accomplished cook by any means, but I've grown to love this Floridian style food. And it just kind of, I thought about it, and I was chatting with a guy who is an accomplished Floridian chef a couple of years ago, when we went south, and he was explaining how, oh yeah, man, I actually, there are elements of Africa. There's Cuban elements. I use different spices from here. I use these kind of rubs along with jerk. And again, South Florida and Miami is essentially the capital of Latin America, the Spanish speaking world on this side of the continent. So Floridian cuisine, these people integrated all these different influences in because of all the various ethnic and racial groups, particularly, obviously, Cuban food is obviously associated with South Florida, and rightly so. So I just thought I kind of thought about it and say, hey, man, I loved Paul Simon. I loved his South African and Brazilian record. I love the Jimmy Buffett stuff. I even love stuff like that Peter Gabriel and David Byrne from the Talking Heads was doing when he went to Brazil and South America. And it's like, it's all these different musical influences that come together. And so I kind of like that Floridian, Trop-Roc is really the term that everybody uses in Florida, and everybody who likes Jimmy and who are into the parrot head phenomenon. But I think Floridian really succinctly captures the geography of the musical influences.
Wow, that's a great answer. Again, this is Tiki Tim's Trop-Roc Tributes. I'm the drummer for the Island Castaways Band, and I host this show every week as a podcast. And also, Millie has picked it up as audio on Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Of course, we're talking right here with Mr. John McDonald, who has a major CD release party on Sunday from 1 to 5 p.m. And so it's something that you can check out at his website, which I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, John, is it Mango Man, or are you using?
Well, it's johnmcdonaldmusic.com is
Right.
the domain.
All right, cool. Well, I got a few more questions before we got to wrap up, but early years as a musician, before you got into a band and started songwriting, what were you doing like in high school and in college?
It's funny. I started playing the guitar as a kid, and I was taking traditional lessons. I really didn't like it. So I'm going to say, I was about in the 8th grade. I started playing a guitar, and I taught my mom into buying a decent one. So I was kind of somewhat athletic and somewhat musical. So I went back and forth, but music really was my passion. And it's funny, both my mom and dad had an extensive vinyl collection, but it was traditional pop. It was older stuff. It was Irish. My older brother was the one, he had like the Beatles all the way to Crosby, Stills and Nash. So I had access to all that vinyl, and I fell in love with music. So I did some musical theater when I was in high school, and it was an adult group, and I was more in the background and technical side, although I did a little bit of performance. So I was very active. I played, not in good bands, but I dabbled in bands, and I actually started playing out, doing solo gigs while I was in college.
Wow. So the CD release party, for those that maybe didn't hear it before, is on May 2nd from 1 to 5 p.m. It's at the Beach Crown Plaza in Melbourne, Florida. And so if you get a chance to check that out live, you definitely should. I think the weather looks really good this weekend, too, if I'm not mistaken. And so My final question, because we're coming up, we're just dipping over an hour, and Millie kills me if I don't keep it at an hour.
She's
is,
like that. She's tough.
Oh yeah, she's real tough. Millie, is just
Love you, dear.
yeah. We all do. Coming out of everything we've just went through in this past year, and it's actually more than a year now. What advice do you have for newer, aspiring songwriters? You know, those that are in music college or didn't even go to college and just decided to hit the road and then hit this pandemic. What can you tell them? We're climbing out of it, but what can you tell them?
Well, you know, a couple things. Read a lot, constantly stimulate your imagination, take in new information, because all of us, our creative well runs dry. It's kind of exhaustion, renewal. It's a process back and forth. But here's the other thing too: you got to write a lot. And you know what, the main advice I would encourage somebody to do, and I wish I had done it a lot earlier, the way to really get good is write a lot, and secondly, get really good professional critique. It's tough initially because you think what you write is wonderful, it's going to set the world on fire, but when you subject what you start to write to really professional critique, you know, some people are kind about it, some people are a little bit harsh, but that's the way to get good, to get really good feedback, because your friends and family are going to tell you, oh my God, you're the next Lennon and McCartney. But you really need good professional feedback on your work to accelerate your process.
Well, you've been a great guest. Thank you to you, Mr. John McDonald, and Dale, also performing on the show tonight. 3 new originals, which is always great to hear. Again, they got a CD release party this Sunday, May 2nd, 1 to 5 p.m. at the Beach Crown Plaza in Melbourne. And, you know, more to come for this show. We've got guests lined up for the next few weeks. I think we're good. And so I always try to, good night, John, and end the show.
Thank you, Ted. Thanks for having me, brother.
You've been a great guest. I try to end the show with my own song, and it, I can say, has received mixed reviews. And so we're just going to go with that. Till next time.
Tired of the sunset blues. That's when I met you. That rainy kiss at the bookstore cafe. That's when I knew you were for me. You want a lover that doesn't leave you stray. Well, baby, I'll make you a believer down by the bay. I'm shedding this shell for a new way. So let's launch the dove and make love, renew an old romance, and let's dance. Loving the sunset moons. That's where I met you. No more regret or losing bets. You're my queen without the mean. Stroll the beach at night to find a hidden wave. Time will only tell if we got love to save. Sails are blowing in the west winds out on the outer cave. Can't you hear me calling? Can't you hear me calling? Can't you hear me calling? Oh. Instead of the sunset blues, now I'm loving the sunset blues with you.
Yeah.